Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. I'm your host, Tyler, along with my co-host. We got Ryan over here. What's up, Ryan guy?
What up?
Did you have fun watching the Eagles win today?
It was the first time I've enjoyed watching the Eagles in a couple of years.
They look pretty good, especially Jalen Hurts really looked good, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and you got Devontae Smith. He looked good, but so did Chase Chase what? What's his last name?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Jesus, I couldn't think of it. All right, hold on. I'm getting this pulled up on this as well. Yeah, Chase Claypool looked good. So what are some real quick, Ryan, what are some of the injuries? Because I'm just getting this pulled up over here. So what are some injuries that we got to look out for?
Well, the main one being who were we just talking about? Why am I drawing a blank?
What?
The one that we were telling people to play, and they go, Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. Another one would be Jeudy. Jeudy, unfortunately, apparently it's a high ankle sprain. They already came out and said that it's a high ankle sprain, so that's good. At least they said X-rays were negative, so we'll have to see. It's probably going to be like, I think it's usually the timeline for those are honestly like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So yeah. He's going to be on the shelf for a while. He'll probably land on IR. I'd imagine he's going to land on IR. But we'll see. Another player, obviously, we had Ryan Fitzpatrick. He got hurt. They do think that it's kind of like a serious injury, so we're going to have to see what happens for that in the next day or so. Who else got hurt? Brandon Ayuk was apparently played through an injury, so he was a massive letdown. The Packers game was so underwhelming it hurts. Yes, the Packers were honestly pretty bad. The Packers were pretty bad today, and I definitely didn't expect that to happen. So it was bad, and it's unfortunate that happened. But what about these Cleveland Brownies, though? Who has the ball now? Does Kansas City have the ball? Anybody watching this game?
Yeah, so right now, I'm a little bit behind because I'm streaming, but it's about to be 3rd and 10 for me. I'm going to go look on ESPN, though. Just get a game summary.
I have it pulled up on ESPN's game summary. It's 4th and 19. He got sacked. So Baker Money Mayfield is about to have his opportunity.
This is the second time he has an opportunity to beat the Chiefs, put the game away. Can he do it? This is his moment to prove all the doubters wrong.
I watched most of the game.
And he's actually not played bad. No, he has some. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's been horrible.
He is trash.
But if you're going to play Pat Mahomes and you're the quarterback in another team, you need to be just as good considering it's a shootout. I mean, the issue is Nick Chubb fumbled, and Nick Chubb never fumbles. That's a problem.
He fumbled. I mean, you had the punter muffed the snap. He fumbled. They got a short field. So it's just been, I hate to say it because it's so cliche, but it's like, it's the Cleveland Browns. That's the Browns. That's the Browns in a nutshell. You know, they just find ways to lose sometimes.
Yeah, but can they win right now? Can they do it? The only problem is, there's no field goal. They can't get a field goal. They're down by 4. They do put points on the board. They better wind down the clock a little bit. KC has 2 touchdowns, so don't score it quick if you're going to do it. Because
Austin just texted me and said, "I'll order a Baker Mayfield jersey if he completes."
Honestly, I mean, he'd be a little deserving, especially if it was like a good drive by him. Like where he throws a couple really good throws and then scores a touchdown. I mean, I give him
East
props.
Live. This stuff is garbage at times.
First run to Kareem Hunt.
There we go. Yo, what's up, fam? Live over on TikTok as well. Watching the ending of this Browns game here and over on YouTube Live. We're going to be talking about some of the pickups for the week. I am going to have a waiver wire video that I'm going to put out tonight. So there's going to be a waiver wire video. And Yeah, and then we got some big pickups this upcoming week.
fucked
Elijah
this
Moore,
week.
or not Elijah Moore. I keep saying Elijah Moore. Elijah Mitchell. He's a guy that is going to probably be the hottest pickup of the week, I'd imagine. It's going to be interesting. Have you seen anything happen with Trey Sermon? Why exactly he was a healthy scratch? I haven't seen anything yet. So
I saw one tweet. They said the tweet basically said flat out he just wasn't one of the best 3 running backs in training camp.
Oof. It would have been nice to know that. Like, it definitely seemed like he was the second guy. So if Elijah Mitchell is now, which honestly, a lot of the beat reporters were saying Elijah Mitchell was extremely impressive
32.
in training camp. He was explosive. So he has to be rostered.
You know what we need to do?
Kansas City has a 81.8 win probability.
We need to get Elijah Mitchell on the live stream.
No, we need to get Stefano on the horn.
True.
Our San Francisco insider.
Could you imagine if they would have lost today? I got a little close there at the end.
Backdoor cover, dude.
A little close there. It got a little too close for comfort. I mean, they hit the spread. What was it? 9.5 or 9? And it was a 7-point game.
8.
Oh, it was 8. Oh,
yeah.
I told you Steelers were going to cover the spread. I said they're going to win outright. I didn't really believe it, but I'm going to pretend like I believed it because I will say their offense looked bad, but that defense, my gosh, that defense looks so good. That front seven, what was it the other night? They were talking about Tampa Bay's front seven, and I think that Pittsburgh honestly can rival Tampa Bay's front seven. Pittsburgh's front seven is dirty.
And they don't even have Stephon Tuitt right now. That's the crazy.
I didn't even know he was hurt.
Yeah, he didn't even play all day. He's on IR for 3 weeks.
Oh, I didn't even know. What's he?
Last year he had 11 sacks. Well, his brother got killed in a hit and run, and then he's also has a knee injury. But people are saying it's a little bit of both, but mostly he's dealing with some stuff at home. So I guess it really hit their family, messed them up pretty good. So
hopefully he comes
prayers
back.
out to Stephon Tuitt's family, if anybody knows them.
Stephon Tuitt, he's the real homie. We got some people talking in chat, so I have not been looking at chat. I apologize. I had CEH, Tannehill, and Ayuk today, so that's great. That is rough. Mixon's workload. Hey, I was big on Mixon this upcoming season. Love Mixon. The dude could honestly lead the NFL in touches. I wouldn't say he could be close, actually. I'm going to take that back. I was going to say King Henry, but the thing with Mixon is he's going to get some work as a receiver. So Sermon won't be the starting back after. I don't think so, honestly. I think it's going to be Elijah Mitchell who's going to get a crack at this. Yeah, congrats to the Steelers win. Yeah, Uzi, you know what's up. Steelers, let's go. I was so mad with the Washington football team. Gibson was balling till the fumble. Yes, sir. Chargers look great. Herbert did look good. He really attacked this. I was honestly surprised. He attacked this defense, and appreciate the follow. He did attack this defense, and he looked good doing it as well. Surprisingly, I really thought this team was going to struggle, and now Ryan Fitzpatrick is hurt. So what does this team do? Did they roll with? Is his name Heineke? Is that his name?
Taylor Heineke. Yeah.
Heineke.
He started moving the ball when he got it. I mean, I know he's played with that offense last year, but they definitely, fantasy-wise, when I was looking at McLaurin's stats, he definitely started producing a bit more when Heineke was in there compared to Fitzpatrick's limited usage when he was in there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this offense will be okay with Heineke. Is Mike Gesicki droppable after dropping a donut? No, he's not droppable. Do not drop. Here's the thing with Bill Belichick is that he's going to take away your best player. He's their best player right now as a receiving option for this offense. They took him away. That's what he does. He does it very well. Dang, Chiefs win. Did they win?
Baker just threw a pick.
Oh, he threw a pick, so Chiefs won. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Well, RIP Browns season. No, just kidding. This was probably a loss anyways. Top 3 waiver wire pickups. Number 1, Elijah Mitchell has to be number 1. I haven't really done all the research yet. I got to look into this a little bit more. But I would say he's number 1. A guy that I don't want to say top because I really need to look at exactly what the percentage is because I'd like to do like guys that are rostered under 50%. But just off the top of my head, another guy would be who would be another guy? A guy that I'm thinking of is Tim Patrick, unfortunately, with Jerry Judy probably going to miss like at least probably 4 to 6 weeks at the like minimum. He would be another guy that if you need some wide receiver help, he did have a touchdown today. He's a guy. That was a bad throw by Baker. That was really bad. Who's another guy that would be a possible waiver wire pickup? I can't think right now.
We talked about it a bit. I think you talked about it, or I watched the videos about it. A guy that slept like through the offseason, a lot of people were kind of high on, but he kind of went under the radar even once drafts happened. Was that Juwan Johnson?
Oh, Juwan Johnson. Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns.
He had 2 touchdowns, but I think he only had like 2 catches. I think those were his only. So,
but he's a monster. I think he's more of a red zone type guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think isn't he huge?
Yeah. Well, he's also like he's a good wide receiving or a good tight end, like receiving tight end. I think that he was even swapping out with Andrew Troutman as the in the preseason. So, but I mean, number 1 is going to be Elijah Mitchell. He's going to be the first guy that you want to try to have. Another guy I was just thinking of would be Christian Kirk. He could be a guy that possibly is right now. Some people dropped him, and he had 2 receiving touchdowns. Let's see. Gainwell from Philly had good yards and 1 touchdown. Could have had 2. He's also somebody that I think I saw a stat. Miles Sanders played 44 snaps, and I think Kenny Gainwell played 24. Boston Scott 0. So yes,
0.
He is someone that I would be interested in having on my roster as well, especially in PPR leagues. Is Hurts the second coming for Christ? I don't know about that. He did look good today. This is just a really good matchup, though. But I do like Jalen Hurts season long. What's up? Who so far is the biggest waiver wire pickup? 100%. It's going to be Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell is going to be the biggest waiver wire pickup right now. Everybody's going to try to get him. If you have the first waiver wire, I would absolutely pick up Elijah Mitchell. Really, I'm proud. I don't even think I'm overreacting. Like Elijah Mitchell, his best comparable was Jerick McKinnon. And Jerick McKinnon, like, yeah, he didn't live up to the hype because he was injured. But Jerick McKinnon was in the 90, I believe he was in the 97th percentile or 99th percentile as a spark athlete. Like he was an absolute freak. His metrics were off the charts as a running back. And that's Elijah Mitchell's best comparable is Jerick McKinnon. So there's a lot to like with Elijah Mitchell. I have Tannehill. Should I try and get Hurts? If you can get Hurts, yeah. I think Tannehill, he had a bad game. Well, this offensive line is kind of an issue. You have Chandler Jones, who had 5 sacks today. I mean, this offensive line right now, the Cardinals looked really good. Yes. We did a show a while ago. We were talking about dark horses to win MVP, and what's his face? Kyler Murray was my dark horse at the time. I think it was like plus 1,600 to win MVP, and I think he has a real shot. I think he's solid. I have Higbee and Tyson left to play. I'm up by 33. My opponent has Stafford, Robinson, and Waller remaining. Can I win this out? Yeah, certainly. I think you can certainly win. I mean, it's going to probably be a little close. But I definitely think that you can win. I think Higbee should have a decent game, and Tyson Williams should have a solid game Monday night. It'll be a little close. You'll be sitting there on Sunday night, kind of sweating it out a little bit, but I definitely think that you can win. But yes, the Titans look really good, or not the Titans. The Cardinals look really good. The Cardinals look tough. That division's going to be tough because even Seattle really beat Indianapolis pretty well today too. So that division's going to be tough. Mostert literally sold me. He let a lot of people down. He let a lot of people down today, unfortunately. I was very big on Mostert. Mostert. I'm sure basically the entire industry was big on him. It was an absolute dream matchup. And of course, did it even get through the first quarter? I don't even know if he got through the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was really fast. And then he literally got hurt. Just brutal. I mean, that's all you can say. That's the worst thing of fantasy football is just the injuries, and it's absolutely brutal. It is what it is. 100% he was the right play this weekend. 100%. Now, season long, that's a different story. I definitely would have told you, like my plan from the beginning was sell high on Mostert after week 1. Like sell high on him. You don't want him season long, so you want to sell high on him. But hey, it is what it is. That's football. It's only 1 week. It's 1/17 of the season. You'll be fine. You just got to keep grinding, keep battling week in and week out. You'll be good. You'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and take a poll. After today, I'm going to ask a question here.
Sorry, I'm putting a parlay together.
Here's the question for you guys. Who's the top waiver wire pickup? Right now, for me, the top waiver wire pickup is Elijah Mitchell. What did you guys eat today? I had lamb, shanks, and mango salad. I had lasagna. Hey, lasagna. Raheem, Ridley, and Robinson sold me. James Robinson. He was a dud too. I mean, I was very surprised by that game. I was very surprised that Houston beat up on Jacksonville. That's concerning. That's very concerning for Jacksonville right now. I did expect this game to be a little bit close. I expected it to be close, but definitely I didn't see Houston really beating up on this team. Oh, brother, not a Steelers poll. Yeah. I'm just kidding, though. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. But what a win. That defense looks solid. That front seven's dirty for Pittsburgh. What a day today. It's always, if you had a great day, obviously you're feeling like on the top of the world after you won in fantasy football, especially your team won. But how different is it when you lost in fantasy football? Maybe a player gets hurt, one of your top players, your favorite team loses. It's kind of a depressing day at the end of the night. And you're just like, I can't wait to go home.
That last poll, y'all were wrong. What do you mean?
Yeah, the Texans. Yes, Uzi did call it last night. He did say the Texans were going to win last night. Yes, but not that much. I didn't expect that game to be like that. That was a whooping. The Texans actually look decent, and the Jags, man, they got some issues. That defense is bad. But that's good news for Jonathan Taylor. So real quick, a couple buy lows I'm going to say here, and then I'll kind of let Ryan. Are you done with your parlay?
Yeah, I put one together.
Okay. And then I'm going to let Ryan take over here for a minute and talk about his parlay. A couple buy lows. Obviously, the number one.
Oh, sorry. Not good.
The number one guy that I would say is obviously Ezekiel Elliott. Another guy that's a really buy low candidate right now, Aaron Jones. This Packers offense looked absolutely terrible today. Buy low on like a guy like Aaron Jones. Another guy would be who is one guy that I know people. Oh, Najee Harris. They won. The offensive line does not look good right now, but he played on literally every single snap for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense today. Every single snap. Najee Harris will be fine. This offensive line will gel. It'll get better as the season progresses. So he's another guy. And then one other guy I definitely would say is a buy low candidate right now as well. Would be he slipped my mind because I couldn't. Anyways, I'll come back to buy low. I'm gonna make a video on buy low players this upcoming week, anyways. And then real quick, Ryan, I'm gonna answer a couple of these questions and then you can go. K1 and D Hop were popping off. Yes. Hey, I did make a video. I made a video. I definitely had some bad calls today. but I've also had some good calls. I made a video on this a while back. Like my DFS lineups, two guys that I said I was definitely stacking were Kyler Murray, my quarterback, and DeAndre Hopkins. That was my ideal stack. And then I also talked about Tyler Lockett today and Russell Wilson. And then stacking it with, I don't think Pittman really had that good of a game today, but those two guys. Will I win? I'm down 37 and have Lamar and Josh Jacobs PPR. If they don't have anybody else, yeah, you could certainly win that game. When will you rank the fantasy teams next? I probably won't, to be honest with you. I got so much stuff. I'm very sad about Jerry Judy. He was my biggest breakout for sophomore season, and he already had 7. Yes, it is sad for Jerry Judy. I love Jerry Judy heading into the season. It's very disappointing. I think Jerry Judy will be fine. Like after he comes back, obviously he's not going to be fine for a little bit here, but once he comes back, like he'll be solid. Do you think Calvin really just had an off day? This whole offense was not very good. They played, honestly, the Eagles defense is tough, especially up front, where the Atlanta offense just did not have a good matchup up front. Atlanta's offensive line is not very good, and this is one of the better defensive lines in football. So they were going to struggle in this game. Are you concerned about CH? Honestly, a little bit. A little bit, because really he wasn't playing in the 2-minute offense. Darrell Henderson was coming in for passing down work a little bit. So there's a little bit of concern there. And now I'm going to kick over to Ryan, where he's going to have the parlay for the people. Go ahead, Rye guy.
What up, everybody? So I talked about it on Thursday, but the parlay for the people, basically, we just do a same game parlay for the primetime games. I posted, we had a few big wins last year. So it's always nice when those hit, because if you're familiar with parlays, you know that the odds gets juiced quite a bit once you start adding different legs into it. So basically, I'm going to start from the top. Well, I'll start with my 2 anytime touchdown scores for this game. I love the Rams offense, and I love the matchup for these 2 wide receivers. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp to score anytime, as well as David Montgomery to score anytime. I just think that the Bears offense, I think if they want to stand a chance, they need David Montgomery heavily included in this game and used. So I'm going to do those 2 as anytime touchdown scorers. I'm going to have Cole Komet to have over 20 receiving yards. DK and FanDuel both do this differently. I did it through DK today, so it's just 20 plus. If he has a line on FanDuel or on either of these where it actually gives a specific number, I'd bet this up to probably like 24.5 for the over, and it shouldn't be more than that. So it should be good as far as the over goes with that. And then the last leg of this I have is Matt Stafford to have over 279 passing yards. With these 4 legs, basically, if you put it ranges. If you do a $10 bet, you're going to win $110. 20 obviously doubles it. So I'll probably put in 20 for this, because there's some different promotions as far as the different sports books go for bet-free wagers. So I'm going to do that for $20. If we win, I'll post the winnings. Feel free to give us a shout out if it hits. If not, I'm sorry. We'll definitely hit a few during the year that may definitely make up for any losses that we have earlier in the season. So feel free to reach out to some of your favorite bets. If you guys are bettors, let me know, and have some different things that you like. But that's the parlay for the people for tonight. Some other bets that I kind of like. I sometimes go after narrative bets and value. One of the ones for tonight is Deshaun Jackson moving back home. I can see Deshaun Jackson scoring on like a big touchdown type play. I don't like him as far as like props, because he could very easily also go for nothing. But if you're looking at his value just as far as like first touchdown score, if you pull 2 on that, it's like $36 win. And then he's plus 350 to score anytime. So that would be another interesting one as far as some interesting narrative type bets that I like. Cole Komet, I just think that he was slightly involved towards the end of last season. He became more involved as the season went on. He was a rookie last year. He's getting familiar with the offense, and a lot of these guys, I feel like Dalton leans heavily on his tight ends at times. So I like Cole Komet for his usage. And then if you wanted to toss some money on him scoring, he's very similar odds to Deshaun Jackson, plus 1,800, and then plus 300 as far as anytime goes. So yeah, I think, let's see, Giggs, who couldn't get on with us tonight, he also posted a bet that he liked. I can read that off. He did a little parlay as well. So Giggs's parlay that he likes is the Rams minus 6.5 at an alternate spread. So we bet it's 6.5. The under in the game of 52.5. That's an alternate total points. So the alternates, they're in specific sections, so you have to find those. And that was 52.5. And then Stafford had over 250 passing yards, which he altered that to 250. So that $20 wager would pay 74. That plus 270 juice.
So you good, Rye?
Yeah.
Got the parlay for the people. People are gonna win some money tonight.
Of course.
I'm not sure how to say your name. Mostert, Kyle? Anybody? I'm not sure how to say his name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call you S. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but bro, your YouTube short of you drinking bleach and fork in the outlet had me dying, and I watched it like 600 times. I must say, the moment that Gus Edwards, and it's bad when you say this out loud, but the moment Gus Edwards got hurt, like that, the TikToks of that guy pretending to like jump over the edge like immediately popped into my mind, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna pretend to drink bleach. And I was like, I need one other thing, fork in the outlet, first thing that came to mind. And then I made it, and then I actually made another one because what I noticed at the time was that for the Thursday night game, like when people were watching the game, nobody was watching TikTok, and then when the commercials and halftime hit, like everybody was on TikTok, and that TikTok was blowing up. And a lot of people were saying, when I start Mike Evans and sit Antonio Brown. So I made another TikTok, like the same exact one for that one. And that one started blowing up like immediately. And it had nearly 40,000 views. And then it got taken off by TikTok. TikTok removed that shit. And I disputed it, and they didn't put it back up. They actually disputed my TikTok of the first one with Gus Edwards, and I disputed it, and they put it back up, but the other one they didn't, and I was a little sad. I'm down 0.1 with Tucker left to kick, and my opponent has Rams defense. Oh, ooh, that's gonna be a very stressful Monday night game there. That's gonna be really stressful. What's the deal with Najee? I mean, I don't think there's a deal. I think he's going to be just fine. Najee Harris will be okay. It's just, it was a tougher matchup for a bad offensive line in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's also, he did show flashes. The offensive line wasn't there. This is a younger offensive line. New guys are in here, so it's going to take a little bit of time for this team to gel. But he played, the Pittsburgh offense ran 55 offensive snaps. He literally played 55 offensive snaps, played every single snap. So if somebody's worried about Najee, go out and get Najee. Najee will be fine, barring injury. I'm going to literally say this for every single player. Barring injury, he's going to be good. I benched Debo. I'm so mad at myself. Listen, playing Debo, it depends on who you had. Playing Debo wasn't the right call. If you had like a Brandon Ayuk, no, that wasn't the right call. I had Julio Jones, Ridley, and Ayuk. RIP, week 1. But remember, guys, it's just week 1. Like, just 1 week. There's plenty of other weeks. Just I know it sucks week 1, but there'll be better weeks out there. Should I start Rob Gronkowski over Godfrey next week? Who's Godfrey?
Would be Godwin.
Godwin? Is it Godwin? I would start Godwin.
Hey, slightly breaking news for tomorrow. Josh Jacobs' illness has now been downgraded to questionable. So if you have him in your starting lineup and you have an option that's playing tonight, which that puts everyone in a tough spot currently at this moment.
Josh Jacobs has been downgraded to questionable for Monday night due to an illness. Something we need to keep an eye on heading into Monday night. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, that offense as a whole was very bad. But let's not forget, New Orleans Saints actually has a really solid defense. Like, that defense is legit, New Orleans. And you have Aaron Rodgers really kind of, I don't want to say dicking around, but kind of dicking around for the whole offseason. They got outplayed. I don't expect that to happen the whole season. They'll be okay. I had Evans, Derrick Henry, Gibson, Mostert, sat Lockett, and Thielen. Oh, boy. That was a bad week. Hey, it's okay. Once again, just 1 week, guys. Just 1 week. I'm down 15 with Mark Andrews left. He could definitely score 15 points for sure. He could definitely do it. How do you feel? How do you think Robert Woods will do? I think Robert Woods will be solid tonight. I think he'll be good. I think a guy that I like in my captain spot for tonight is Cooper Kupp. I like Cooper Kupp. I do like Robert Woods the most on this game, but I like Cooper Kupp. He's my captain tonight. So if you're looking for a captain for DFS play, I like Cooper Kupp tonight. That live earlier was crazy. Yeah. At one point there was like 200 people in TikTok, and literally it was just, I'd imagine that's how people feel when they have like 1,000 people in their chat, and like literally they don't even look at chat because it's going too fast. But I was trying to answer everybody's chat in chat. I had to take a break from YouTube because it just got way too crazy. It was fun. It was a fun week one. I literally, for like the past hour of the live stream, like the last hour, I literally didn't stop talking. I was going nonstop. So if you aren't already, come over to the youtube.com/Aspire Sports Show. We go live every single day. Well, not every single day, but Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Sunday during the day. We answer everybody's questions. I think we're one of the few YouTube guys that really take the time to talk to our community. I think we do a really good job of reaching out and talking to everybody. Up 12, I have Monty and Ravens D. He has Kupp and Henderson. That's going to be close. That's going to be real close too. Kupp and Henderson could have a really good game. I'm down 6 and I have Robert Woods. He has Mark Andrews. Uzi's going to have a long Monday night. Do you think Courtland Sutton will bounce back? Yeah. I didn't expect Courtland Sutton. I don't know if he actually saw shadow coverage from James Bradbury. I didn't have a chance to really watch that game that much. But I'll definitely go back and look at I'll go rewatch the game, and then also look at what like Pro Football Focus says and everything to see how much he was actually shadowing him. But I just envisioned James Bradbury shadowing Sutton, so he'll bounce back, especially because you're gonna have Judy now on the shelf for like probably 6 weeks here with a high ankle sprain. My prediction for Higbee tonight is 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown. What do you think? Certainly can have that. This is a good matchup for Higbee. Should I trade Logan Thomas for Mark Andrews? I get Andrews 100%. Right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Would you run and accept that 100%? Run and accept that right now. Mark Andrews. Get Mark Andrews. I'm down 36. I have Rams defense tonight and Lamar Jackson tomorrow. My opponent has the Ravens defense. Certainly possible. Lamar Jackson could score 36 points by himself. It's certainly possible. What are your thoughts on Saquon? I mean, this was a tough matchup for this whole offense in general. Denver's defense is no joke. Denver's defense could be one of the best defenses in the NFL this upcoming season. I truly believe that. They're good on every single level of the ball. So Saquon will bounce back, and it's his first game since the ACL injury. You know, he'll be okay. Up 40, he has David Montgomery and Darrell Henderson. I like your chances for sure. I think that David Montgomery is going to definitely struggle week one. Darrell Henderson can he score a couple of touchdowns? But I do like your chances for week one. Thoughts on Najee? Yeah, I talked about Najee. Najee's going to be fine. You know, I know it wasn't a great day for him today, but really this was a tough matchup for this Pittsburgh team. Their offensive line is young. It needs time to really gel. The offense for Pittsburgh played 55 snaps. Najee Harris played 55 snaps today. He played on every single snap for the Pittsburgh offense. So that's what you love to see out of your bell cow running back. He will be just fine. Don't worry about Najee. He'll be okay. Buy low on Najee right now, 100%. If people are starting to question, though, he's a rookie. Maybe I shouldn't have drafted a rookie that early. Now's the time. Week one, everybody panics. Everybody's in panic mode. Go and take advantage of those people. Buy low on the players that they have. Zeke, Najee Harris, other guys. I'll do a full video, a full breakdown. I want to look into it a little bit more. So, but yeah. So I made a -6 IQ move and thought playing this Jacksonville's defense was good. After yeah, that's rough. I mean, to be fair though, I didn't think that Houston would beat up on them that bad. So that's, that's rough. I wouldn't have done that, but I definitely didn't think Houston's offense would beat up on their defense. Are you worried for James Robinson? A little bit, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know it's week one and we still have to see, but this was a dream matchup against Houston in general. Like, how do you feel about that, Ryan? Like, just
James Robinson.
Just Jacksonville in general. Like it was.
Yeah, that was like there was nothing. You went into this season thinking like Houston could very well not win a football game, and then Jacksonville just blew every expectation, like blew that completely away. Because like there was nothing about that Jacksonville today that looked like they could consistently compete with some of these teams. You know,
yeah. If they can't compete with Houston, who can they compete with?
Right into this season thinking like,
I mean, even Detroit was competitive today.
Yeah,
Detroit played well. They almost came back in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville was playing bad. Like,
yeah, Jacksonville was definitely, I feel like, the shocker of the day. I didn't expect them to be like very good.
Yeah,
but also nothing like that.
And James Robinson really was splitting carries with Carlos Hyde, which I kind of anticipated, but I expected this offense to at least be a little bit better, and they just weren't very good today. Any rookies better than Galladay? Like rookie wide receivers, every single one of them. No, not every single one of them, but I don't like Kenny Galladay because I don't like Danny Dimes. I think Danny Dimes sucks personally. I don't like Danny Dimes. I don't like this offense a whole lot other than Saquon. Saquon's really the only guy that I like in this offense. And actually Sterling Shepard, which he caught a touchdown pass. Really, that would be the only wide receiver that I want. Deontay Johnson is still garbage. You're just a hater, dude. Deontay Johnson is not garbage. He made a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone, and that's what he's all about. Deontay Johnson is the best. DJ Chark got targeted 12 times. My gosh. Well, how many passing attempts did what's-his-face have? Trevor Lawrence. I didn't even actually see his final stat line. Didn't he have like 2 interceptions today? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I didn't see his final stat line. I was just kind of like watching that game a little bit here and there. And DJ Chark did have 12 targets. Marvin Jones had 9.
All right, I'm worried about this poll. Please don't upset me, everybody. Oh, no.
What was the poll?
Well, this one, because they picked the Browns to win the division, which which isn't like I guess I still get it, but that was a rough finish by the Browns.
What's up with James Robinson? James Robinson is a little concerning at this point. I'm not going to freak out. Once again, it's only week 1, but we saw in preseason him kind of split with Carlos Hyde, and today that's what happened. And the Jacksonville offense just did not look good today. Well, really, the defense looked awful. Jarvis is still prime. No way. Deontay Johnson is better than Jarvis Landry. I still think that Jarvis Landry is a fine wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. But Deontay's the best. Deontay saved the Steelers. You know who saved the Steelers? The defense saved the Steelers. That defense is very good. What do I have? I have an ad playing in my headset. There we go. The Bengals look good overall. They did look good. Chase looked good as well. Once again, I said this today, maybe last night too. Like, a lot of people were kind of freaking out about Chase. I mean, obviously, I wasn't like super high on him this week because he did struggle in preseason a little bit. But a lot of people were looking at that, and I said it. Everybody was taking that quote out of context. The media took that quote out of context that Chase said about catching the football and everything. It was taken completely out of context once you actually go and look at the quote. And I was telling people about that today. Like, yeah, Chase hasn't looked that good in preseason. There's a little bit of concern, but once again, don't think that he's having trouble because the ball looks different. That's not what he said. Should I put Darrell Henderson or Robert Woods at my flex? I would go Robert Woods. He had 3. Who had 3? Obviously, Josh Allen, man. Who had 3? I'm not sure who had 3. I don't know.
Lawrence interceptions, maybe.
Oh, he had 3. Did he have 3? I didn't actually look at the final stat line.
Either.
Clowney and Garrett is scary. That defense is solid for the Browns. The defense is really good.
What could be a big issue in Jacksonville is maybe they're just kind of letting him go out there and rip it, which would be kind of
Well,
stupid.
the biggest issue, once again, it's all reporting, so I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently a lot of them don't like Urban Myers.
He did have 3. His QBR was a 14.
The thing with Urban Myers, not a whole lot of people apparently in the organization are happy with him. Which we've seen college coaches try to make this transition and it doesn't work out well. It's just not the same. But that defense for Cleveland can definitely be really good. There's a lot of potential, especially for the secondary if they're able to really figure things out today. I mean, you play the best offense in the NFL. Let's see what happens when they play somebody else like Pittsburgh. They'll probably It'll be a really good game. I'm looking forward. The AFC North, man, looks pretty tough. Super chats are now available. Yes. I benched Sterling Shepard and Christian Kirk today. Should I buy more into both players going forward? Christian Kirk, Sterling Shepard, like this offense just like who did you play over them is the question, because Christian Kirk did look decent today. I expected more from Rondell Moore a little bit than Christian Kirk, but Christian Kirk has looked good, but it just depends on your other options. Like if you started, studs over them, it is what it is. Sometimes your bench is going to score more than your starting lineup and you just roll with it. Miles Sanders had 15 carries, 4 receptions. Thought Boston Scott got no carries, but Kenny Gainwell had 9. Yeah, honestly, I was a little surprised by his work in the receiving game. I thought for sure he wouldn't really see a whole lot, and Boston Scott was going to be a little bit more involved. I believe that Miles Sanders is a good talent when it comes to running the football. Like I do think that he's a very good talent. But let's see. I do think that the Atlanta, honestly, that was a tougher matchup, but this offensive line is healthy. So Miles Sanders is a solid play, but my biggest issue is he was always going around Deandre Swift, which no one's talked about Deandre Swift today yet. Deandre Swift, 11 targets. I try to tell everybody out there, Deandre Swift is going to be a league winner this upcoming season. Deandre Swift is the truth, my guys. And
I can attest to that. Tyler was all over DeAndre Swift, and I believe that.
I tweeted it. I tweeted literally every single draft I'm in this upcoming or this past year. I have DeAndre Swift literally in every single draft I have him. And there's been times where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to draft him. And then he falls to the 5th round. It's like, Jesus, I can't just pass on DeAndre Swift. I have to have him here. It's way too good. As long as he stays healthy, barring injury. Once again, you can say that for everybody, barring injury. But Miles Sanders, he has potential. I think he's a really good rusher. Like, that's the thing with Miles Sanders. He's very good. Should I drop Zeke? Come on, man. Don't give me that. Should I drop Zeke? What are you, nuts? There's got to be some kind of like music or something that plays when somebody says that. What's it going to be, Kyle? When somebody says that, think of something like when somebody says, should I drop Zeke? There has to be like a GIF that plays or like a music audio clip that plays when somebody says something crazy like that. You know what I mean? No, do not drop Zeke. That's a big overreaction. Zeke is going to be fine. He played on 83% of the snaps. Yeah, it was never going to be a good game for Zeke unless he found the end zone, which he almost found the end zone. And nobody would really be talking about Zeke having that bad of a game. He was 2 yards short from a touchdown. So no, do not drop Zeke. Zeke is going to be fine. In fact, trade for Zeke. And if you have Zeke, keep him. Don't let anybody try to trade. If Ronnie Hillman didn't get ejected, that would have been interesting coming down to the wire. What is that?
There's safety.
Rodney Harrison. Okay.
When the coach, they like pushed each other and he got ejected in like the first.
I read Ronnie Hillman and I'm pretty sure he was a running back. I feel like for the Broncos or something.
Yeah.
So I totally misread that. I played Hill, Stud, Chark, and Chase over Kirk and Shepard. Yeah, I mean Chark Chase had a good game too. Yeah, I mean that's just how. Like sometimes you're just not going to make the right calls, and those are the right calls. Starting them over Kirk and Shepard. It's just how it goes sometimes. JT had 7 targets. I don't know why people were saying receiving like Chubb. No, yeah. JT is going to be fine. That's another guy trade low for it. Like I don't think he had that good of a game, right? I know his rushing totals weren't that good. I don't know about if he scored via the air. I didn't see what his final stat line was either. I'm going to look it up right now.
I'll answer the one from Lee. He says thoughts on Kyle Pitts. Like Kyle Pitts is another one. He's going to be fine. It was just like, it was a rough matchup. He's another one where I'd almost say buy low on. Because the dude's going to be a freak. It was his first week as a rookie. I wouldn't be too shocked by how he played. And all in all, that offense did. Matt Ryan, he did not put up big numbers at all. He'll be fine. Definitely trade for him if you have the opportunity to on a buy low type thing.
$4. Hey, J4. Appreciate it, homie. Thanks for helping out with the community fantasy football Q&A, Aspire Sports. Hey, we appreciate you, my guy.
We do.
Always here. You're always retweeting stuff. Appreciate you being a part of the community and appreciate everybody being a part of the community. It means a lot that you actually hang out with us, talk football with us, and don't, get upset if we sometimes give you a bad play here and there.
Which I was going to lead into that because I was looking at Mostert. We were all over Mostert today. And Tyler, it's one of those things where people get upset if you give people the wrong play type of thing. Mostert had 2 carries for 20 yards, and then he got hurt. As long as 11. So he had a rush for 11 yards and a rush for 9 yards, got hurt. Obviously, going into it, Mostert has had a past of being injury prone, but those are the type of things which none of you guys have done it, so we appreciate it. But people start to have issues if you give them a play where it's just tell him to smash this guy, and then he ends up getting hurt. Obviously getting hurt, and Tyler says barring injury, because obviously those are the type of things you can never truly predict. Mostert would have had an amazing game, probably similar to what Elijah Mitchell ended up having today, but he got hurt, and we'll see where it goes from here. But Mostert was definitely the right play today. It just unfortunately he got hurt, and Elijah Mitchell took over and had a good game today. So that is just one of my tangents I wanted to go on, just because sometimes people get upset with those type of things that happen. So
yeah. So thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not going to make the right call every single time. That's the nature of the beast. But hey, that's okay, because guess what? We come back to this channel every single day. We're going to talk to you. We're going to take the criticism. Hey, sometimes the work isn't the best. It doesn't work out the best. We put in time, but we maybe don't look at the right stats. It sometimes happens. That's the unfortunate thing with this very volatile sport. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you guys, thank you for the follow over there, bro. Callaway killed me. Callaway did have a rough matchup. I mean, Jameis just didn't really have to do much in this game. He did throw 5 touchdowns, but I don't even know if he threw for over 200 yards in this game. He just didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, before his last touchdown, his 5th touchdown was a long one. Before that, we were talking before this, he had 4 touchdowns and 92 passing yards. Those are just no one had a good fantasy day except for him, because he's yakking up yards for tutties. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it happens. And tight games this week and nervous. Should I play Tyson Williams over Montgomery? Me personally, I would. I'm higher on Tyson Williams than I am David Montgomery. Josh Allen did terrible today. It was a bad matchup, honestly. I mean, I did think he was going to have a better game, but that Pittsburgh defense really came to play today. It honestly did. You told me to play Mixon, and he didn't score 55. Yeah, right. He didn't score. I'm going to go report you. Mixon had a really good game today, too, though. He had a good game. He had, what was it? I know Uzi said it. I think 33 touches today. Yeah, CMC looks like he's already on track to go for 1,000 and 1,000 again.
How nuts! He's
CMC
a full point
disgusting.
PPR. He's not even fair.
That's why I said even in Superflex leagues, he needs to be the first player taken off the board, because he's an absolute freak. He's the only guy that can outscore the quarterbacks in fantasy football. The only guy. He's a cheat code, barring injury. I got to always put that at the end. It's like the little disclaimer, barring injury.
That was my tangent when you went off for a second. I talked about Mostert. He had 2 carries for 20 yards and got hurt.
They got hurt. It was going to be a monster game. Elijah Mitchell on steroids is what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp or Allen Robinson. Personally, I would go Cooper Kupp. Thoughts on Zeke? Zeke, he played the hardest defense in the NFL, rush defense. He'll be fine. Brother, I had Zeke and Devontae. Yeah. Who would have thought that your your basically first and second round draft picks would put up duds? That's fantasy football. Shit sucks sometimes and you hate it. And then the next week you put up 160 and you're on top of the world. It's how fantasy football goes. It's very volatile, and there's a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows. It's the grind, baby. You got to stick with it. Joe Mixon or Swift are going to be good this year. Yeah, they both had a really good weekend. Joe Mixon and Swift had both a really good game. Saquon's going to bounce back. Don't worry about Saquon. He's going to be fine. What do I do if I had Judy? He's going to go on IR.
Hamler took over, right?
KJ Hamler.
I think he took over.
I think he's more their slot guy, though. I thought. Okay. I think Tim Patrick is going to go on the outside. I'm going to have a waiver wire video coming out. You guys can check that out. I'm going to post that actually tonight. I'm going to post that. It's going to be up on our YouTube, youtube.com/Aspire Sports Show. So make sure you check that out. I'll give you all of it. Left Debo on the bench today. Hey, it was probably a good play. I have CMC, JT, Mixon, Amari Cooper, and I still might lose. If you had the right guys, there was definitely some guys in fantasy football where today in one of my leagues, I'm going to put up over 200 points because I had guys like this is a full point. So Brandon Cooks, I had Amari Cooper.
Tyreek.
Tyreek
put up a lot.
Oh, I had Jalen Hurts who put up a bunch of points for me. I know there's another wide receiver that I had that put up like 30 some points. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Corey Davis.
Tyler Lockett. Lockett. Corey Davis. Yeah, he was another one. He was amazing. Just didn't do much in the red zone. Who was that?
He was talking about CMC. How he didn't get the end zone.
Thoughts on Urban Meyer's ready for the league? Go back to the frat. Yeah, I think he's ready to go back to the frat parties. Honestly, Tonyan flopped. Bucks defense. Herbert only had 13 points. Yeah, that's true too. He was amazing. I lost because Henry and Robinson and Saquon all bombed. Also, Gesicki landed a goose egg on my other team, killed me. Yeah, that Henry definitely sucked today too. That just the Titans weren't very good today, honestly. They're really disappointing. And so was James Robinson, honestly. That Jacksonville offense was disappointing as well. But remember, last year, Tennessee lost. I mean, they still had a pretty solid fantasy game, though, week 1. But they lost to Jacksonville last year. Like, it's week 1. They lost to Jacksonville week 1.
Don't care.
It's only week 1. Just got to really try not to overreact. I know it's hard to not overreact to fantasy football, but you have to try really hard. Trust your process. Trust the amount of time that you put prior into the fantasy football prior to the season.
What'd you say?
Trust your process.
I just want to know what you
Ryan,
said.
can you take over?
What did you say?
Yeah. Thoughts. We got that Tonyan flop. Bucks defense. Herbert only 13 points. Yeah. Here's the thing about I think it's Tonyan. He was going pretty early in drafts, and I still like Tonyan. I don't hate him, but the amount of touchdowns he scored in the amount of games, I mean, he was not going to be able to keep that pace coming into this year. So I was a lot lower on Tonyan than most people were for his average draft position, Tonyan, just because I knew he wasn't going to be able to score as much as he did last year. But yeah, the Bucks defense was shockingly bad. And I don't know, I think it was more of the Bucks defense being bad, but the Cowboys also, I mean, when all those guys are healthy, their offense is legit. And they certainly surprised me with how well they played. I thought Zach Martin was going to play a huge role in that game, especially with how good the Buccaneers defense was. Obviously they shut down Zeke, but Dak can sling it. He's got the weapons outside and you certainly make it happen. So when all those guys are healthy and Dak's able to throw the ball like he was, they're going to be a very good offense, especially fantasy wise with those guys. Drop Moss. Honestly, I would start leaning that way. Now it depends on who else is on your team and who else is in free agency. Because I mean, Singletary played pretty well without him out there. But yeah, Hector, if you want to put some people that are some other options, like who you'd be adding if you drop Moss, or who are some other guys on your bench, if there's someone you do want to add in free agency, I can help you out a little bit more there. Hill gave me 47. Yeah, Tyreek Hill, he's another one. I mean, I was watching that game today. It's just like that offense is, and him being part of it, that offense is just, it's ridiculous. Should I trade for Sutton after the Jeudy injury? Maybe give away a Waddle. Yeah, I definitely like Cortland Sutton, and especially after the injury. Obviously, the targets are they're people who are catching the ball. Obviously, the number got smaller. So Waddle, I think he obviously played well. He had the touchdown, which inflates the number. So if someone wanted to do that, trade straight up Cortland Sutton for Jalen Waddle, and you were giving away Waddle, I'll definitely take Cortland Sutton over Jalen Waddle. Jared Cook looked pretty good today. 8 targets. Yep, he definitely did. He was another one that some people had questions on earlier. I wasn't as high on, but yeah, 8 targets was surprising. So yeah, he did. Indigo Boss, have you talked bets yet today? Yeah, I'll go over what I did. I did a parlay for the people earlier. Let me see if I'll pull that up real quick. One of the guys I like going into it, if you guys just like props, Cole Comet, yards, receptions. I think his receptions was only set at like 2.5. I expect him to go over that, and his yards is low 20s. I'd go over on that too. I like the wide receivers for the Rams a lot because I like the matchup against the Bears defense. So my parlay for the people that I did, and I'll just repeat it because Boss had asked. Cole Komet over. Now this is on DK. and theirs is laid out a little different. There's no exact prop number. It's like 20, 15, 25, like there's and up. So I did Cole Komet over 20 receiving yards, Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown scorer, David Montgomery anytime touchdown scorer, and Matthew Stafford to pass for over 279. That's plus 1,100. So it's a $20 bet. What I did is going to end up paying 220. There's some variants too. Like I said, if you wanted to put in there, if you could find the reception, I didn't see the receptions from Cole Komet. That'd be another one I like if you just want to add some different likes to this. I just think Montgomery has to get in the end zone and he has to play well for them just to keep pace, even if it's receiving out of the background or the backfield. So if you have some other guys you want to ask or some other props you are thinking about, boss, let me know. I'm driving back home from Arizona from visiting family in California, and I'm listening to your live stream. So thank you both for keeping me company. Hey, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you allowing us to be on the car ride with you. We appreciate you and love having you back. So we'll be back tomorrow live before tomorrow night's game, and then again Thursday. So we're live with you guys 3 times a week. So feel free. We love being your company in the car, man. Last one to like the videos of Jags. For real, shout out to you for tuning in on the road. We appreciate you and appreciate that, J4. Most toast is kind of live. Thanks, Aspire Sports. Totally the same person. So Kyle complimenting himself throughout chat. That's a good. We like that. We like that. So feel free to reach out with any questions. If you guys want to go over some of your predictions, what do you guys think is going to happen in tonight's game? I personally, what I think is going to happen, I think the Rams beat them. And I think there's a lot of questions probably at halftime about whether Justin Fields should be in there, because I don't think Andy Dalton is going to look that good. I think this defense is legit, though, so I don't think they'll pull the trigger, because I don't think they want Justin Fields getting equated to the NFL with this defense, because the Rams defense is going to be flying around tonight in the new stadium in LA. It's going to be loud, and that team's going to be hyped. That's why I think they score first touchdown. Some of my first touchdown bets that I put in Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, I mean, it very well could be either of them. I also put some money on a long shot, Deshaun Jackson, just being like back at his hometown in LA, his first year there. I could see him drawing something up for like him trying to beat someone deep. And if he gets open, he's plus 1,800 for first touchdown scorer. So plus 1,800, even just tossing a couple of dollars on him. It's a nice little payday if you can get that to hit. And then opposite side, because I like at least having a little bit of money on both sides of it. I have some money on Cole Komet to score the first touchdown. He's also plus 1,800. So like I said, just a little bit of money there. But if you were putting a good amount of money, like DraftKings has a promo tonight for $20. If you can bet up to 20, and even if your bet doesn't score first, but the guy scores for first touchdown in the game, you get your money back in a free bet. So that one I put Cooper Kupp on, but also tossed a couple side dollars on Cole Komet and Deshaun Jackson. Question here: should I trade Mixon for Saquon and Pitts? Ooh, I
would say that is a tough one.
Yeah, so you'd be giving up Mixon for Saquon and Pitts?
I'm pretty sure, because he has Mixon, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. That. Who do you have at tight end? Do you need an upgrade? Do you need someone at tight end? Uzi, let me know let me know who your current tight end is if you're like hurting bad. Like I said, Pitts could almost be like a buy low type. Maybe even if this guy's interested in like trading Pitts or wants to get rid of him in some aspect, just see if you can go in there and just get Pitts and keep Saquon out of it, because then you can keep Mixon out of it, and just see maybe if you can give up like where you're kind of loaded in depth at. But yeah, guys, don't forget to check out our website too. It's www.aspiresportshow.com. On the sports show on the website, we have some merch. We have our links to the BetUS. So BetUS, if you use our link and you deposit $100, you get a deposit match. I think it's 125%, and then another percent for the casino credits as well, which the casino is really good. Their sports book is 200% for crypto deposit. Yeah. And 250 for casino. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, BetUS, you'll find the link on our website to go right there, and it'll link up to them. Let them know that you signed up through our link. So we always appreciate that. I have Tunyon and Higbee. Now, I think you're fine with where you're at, because you have two good tight ends, like two solid tight ends. I won't say good. You have two solid tight ends. So to add a third into the mix, unless maybe if you offered one of those two guys up to get Pitts and Saquon, maybe you can downgrade a little bit of your running backs, take Mixon out of the equation. I don't know who like your running back 2 or 3 is that's below Mixon, but Maybe something like that could work. How about Miles Sanders for Pitts? Might offer that instead. I would still hold on to Miles Sanders. You're going to see the depth of running back is going to keep shrinking. And having someone like Miles Sanders, like even the ability to be able to trade him, I'd hold on to him and just ride out your good depth at running back, honestly. I'm not sure if you cover this, just join in chat, but how do you feel after the James Robinson performance? Do you think the offense will utilize him more after? Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can expect this kind of stuff to happen. It doesn't happen with everyone on it, obviously. But a rookie quarterback in his first start, I think Urban Meyer also, look at him almost as like a rookie. Like he needed to get reacquainted to the NFL. This was a very embarrassing loss. So hopefully it humbles him a little bit. So whatever he thought he had right, that he's got to fix it, because that was a piss poor effort. So I'm not worried about James Robinson. Yeah, I'm not worried about James Robinson. And I think they will pick it back up. I think that loss will humble him today. What's the deal with Barkley moving forward? Yeah, it wasn't a good matchup. Denver has a very good defense.
Denver is the truth.
Yeah, Denver's defense is very good.
They're really good.
Washington, yeah. So I think they get better as well. But this just wasn't a good matchup, and they were not prepared for this game. Ty, if you want to wrap it up, that was the last question.
Yeah, and honestly, it's going to be I love Joe Mixon, but that is a pretty solid trade. I don't know. I probably would accept it. I would probably give up Joe Mixon for that. But I do love Joe Mixon. He's a guy that I was high on him last year, and he just ended up getting hurt. A guy that could easily lead the NFL, be one of the top guys in the NFL in touches. So, yeah. Would you rather have Lockett or Woods? Me personally, I would rather have. That's really close. I do believe that I actually had Tyler Lockett ranked ahead. They're right next to each other. I may have had Robert Woods at 14 and Lockett at 15. I can't remember exactly what my preseason rankings were, but those guys are really close. I look at them the same. Tyler Lockett had a really good game today, but he only had 4 catches. Robert Woods could be like in full point PPR, probably Robert Woods. But like in maybe your standard, probably Tyler Lockett. He's had 10 touchdowns, I'm pretty sure, or 8 touchdowns over the past 3 seasons. And he's definitely on pace already to have 8 touchdowns again. So Lockett he's also an alpha wide receiver. A lot of people kind of think he's a smaller guy. He's not as good as DK Metcalf. No, if Tyler Lockett went to a different team, he could definitely be a wide receiver 1. He's a stud. Did Rager have a lucky week, or is it,
assume he's talking wide receiver 2.
Yeah. Here's our Eagle expert over here, Ryan. He'll tell you.
No, I mean, like Rager there's been people saying that he looks a lot better this year, a lot more focused. He almost looks like a different person this year. I wouldn't say it's lucky, and Jalen Hurts was doing a good job spreading the ball around too. Like it was nothing like you're accustomed to seeing if you've been watching the Eagles the last couple of years. Like that's where Wentz struggled, and Jalen Hurts kept plays alive. And those kind of like quick guys, like that's why this offense it flowed so well today, because these quick guys when the play starts to break down and Jalen Hurts needs to scramble. Those type of guys like the Jalen Reagor and Devontae Smith were right there. So I don't think it's a lucky week. Obviously the touchdown helps pad the stats for fantasy purposes, but I think this offense will continue to grow, and I don't think it was necessarily a lucky week at all. So if there's no other questions, I guess we can wrap this up. Like I said, I'm liking the Rams tonight as far as the game goes.
Hey. Yeah. Who's the first touchdown scorer?
I went Cup, but for deeper, I went Cole Komet or Deshaun Jackson if you want to go deep. Deshaun Jackson is like a hometown type first touchdown stadium.
You're probably going to say the Rams score first, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I would say Cooper Kupp, and then if you're going to go on the other side for I would say Allen Robinson. He's probably the easiest bet, the safe bet. I would say he scores first. I do think that tonight, I've been kind of wrong in some of these sometimes, but I do think that the Rams are just a much better team, and I think that they kind of easily win tonight. I don't want to say easily, but are able to pull away in the second half and really win tonight personally. And I think that's really what the Bears are hoping. I think that they hope they kind of get beat, and then they can just throw out Jamar Chase.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. So, yes, appreciate everybody being a part of the live show. Let's go out and watch some more football. And this week, well, we do have one more game tomorrow night. Or do we have 2 games tomorrow night? Usually Monday there's 2 games, right?
There's only one.
Only one? Oh yeah, the Raiders and usually I thought they always did that Monday night.
And then maybe the extra week they were able to spread out one more game or something. I don't know.
Because usually it is like an earlier Monday night game and then they have a later Monday night game.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, appreciate all of you guys. Real quick, Uzi, did you think I made the good decision drafting Mixon over Waller? My RBs, yes, absolutely. I would have taken Mixon over Waller 100%. I love Mixon. He should have been drafted in the second round of your leagues. Waller's more of a third round draft pick. So thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Appreciate all of you guys being a part of the community as well. Thank you and have a great day. Good luck tonight, guys. Good luck. Also Monday night. Good luck to everybody. See you guys.